guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Siva. My channel is Chapters, and today we're going to talk about living in Thailand on a budget. So I've been in Thailand for the past 2 months, and I've been living here on a relatively small budget. And I can tell you guys this, you don't have to have a lot of money to actually live here in Thailand. So basically, I'm gonna tell you the cost about most of the stuff that I use throughout my day-to-day life. And first off, I would like to talk about food. So right now, food is not really that expensive, especially when you eat locally, like when you eat like street food. Like street food for the most part is gonna run you from about 150 to at least 5. Street food is not very expensive, and it's something you can definitely afford, on a day-to-day basis, like 3 times a day, maybe, if you want. Depends on how much you eat. And the next thing I want to talk about is like hostels. I know a lot of you guys are backpackers, and you don't really stay in one place for too long. So basically a hostel would be like a good option for you guys. And hostel for me usually run from about $6 a day up to like 30. I've stayed at one before, and that's what I pay for the day. Also keep in mind that was a lower tier hostel, so it's gonna be cheaper. So if you need something that's maybe like mid to high tier, you're gonna have to pay like 30 to $50 for something that's like really nice. So that's it for like hostel. But if you are looking to rent a room or a condo or apartment, then they're gonna run you about 150 to 1,500 or even more. Like I said, it depends on what you want, the lifestyle you want to live. So if you just here to just make time pass by, you just get something cheap. Or if you're just looking to live here long term and you need something fancier, then definitely look into places that cost you at least 1,500 and over. But to be honest, even something that is gonna run you 500, I swear to you, man, something that's gonna run you 500 is pretty good and it's decent. For the most part, I don't even think people need anything above 500. And for those who would rather to stay in an hotel, it's gonna run you from about 15 to around 150 plus. So anywhere in between 15 to 150 plus, you're gonna get you something. So it all depends on what you want. You want something simple just to rest your head, $15. You want something really nice, something you can be like, take your pictures, put on Instagram, oh look at me, I'm living the life. Definitely choose something 150 plus. So now I'm gonna talk about transportation. So the first thing I want to talk about is buses. So buses usually cost around 8 to 25 baht. That would be like a couple cents to like $1, and it's depending on the distance. Usually it's the distance. So the far you have to travel, the more you have to pay. And I want to talk about trains. So it depends on if you are traveling to another city or you are traveling within the city. So within the city, you're gonna probably pay like 20 baht, to like 100. That's what I usually pay, depending on the distance and depending on the type of train. You have standard and you have express, so it depending on the class too. So if you're gonna travel to another city, like for example, if you're gonna travel from Bangkok to like Chiang Mai, then you're looking at like 800 baht to like 1,000 baht. And my thing also, when you take train to travel, I think you usually get a better experience because you get to see a lot of scenic view of like the countrysides and so on. So if you take like a cab, you're not gonna really see much, And then you have a next form of transportation, which is tuk-tuk. So if you're gonna take the tuk-tuk, they usually cost you around 30 to 100 baht. But just be aware, you have some guy, some tuk-tuk driver who will take advantage. Like, trust me, like, this happened to me before, and this was like my, I was still new to Thailand, so like, they got me for like 400 baht, just from like the Icom Mall to my hotel, and they charged me literally 400. So like, that's a no-no. Like, try to avoid getting scammed by a tuk-tuk driver. You should pay 30 to 100 depending on the distance. So if it's like a far drive, then they have to charge you for the distance. And then the next thing I want to talk about when it comes to transportation is taxi. So the cost of taxi in Thailand operate by a meter. Like, anywhere else in the world you are, taxis usually operate by meters. So the starting fare is around 35 baht, and longer distance is gonna cost you more, or you can negotiate with the driver for like a fixed rate. I think they are convenient, for a short distance, like maybe a 5-minute ride, or if you go into like the airport or wherever, like otherwise I don't really think taxi is like reliable, because it still can cost a lot because they work by meter. So instead of taking the taxi, there's this transportation app called Bolt. So it's kind of like Uber in a sense. Maybe they're the same. Uber and Bolt in a sense is like the same thing. So you basically pay a flat rate in the app, or you can pay by cash. So in the app you can select the option to pay by cash. So when your driver come to you, then you can just pay them the amount when you arrive at your destination. But usually you can also pay by card. So you have the option to pay by cash or card. And you also have motorcycle taxi, which I think, in my opinion, is the cheapest. Like, motorcycle taxi is definitely the cheapest. So one more thing before I go on is you also can take a motorcycle taxi in the Grab app. So you have the option for a car, or you can take a motorcycle taxi in the Grab app. So it's always cheaper to take the motorcycle taxi. That's if you like one person. Usually one person go on the motorcycle taxi, and sometimes two. But if you with a group, then you're gonna need a taxi. But if you're by yourself most of the time, then definitely go for the motorcycle taxi to save you some money. So now I'm gonna talk about nightlife, and I'm also gonna talk about the prices of drinks at different venues. So the first venue, street vendors and convenience store. So like beers is usually gonna run you around 35 baht to 60 baht. Rum, Thai rum, like it's like the cheaper rum out here, Thai rum, is gonna cost you 150 to 250. Now cocktails are gonna cost you around 70 to 150 in the Thai bars. So like for the local restaurant and bars, beer is gonna run you from 40 to 60 baht. Local spirit, Thai alcohol is gonna cost you 50 to 80 baht. Cocktails gonna cost you 70 to 150, and like Thai iced tea coffee is gonna cost you around like 20 to 35 baht. So like that's like the cheapest you're gonna find there. So like for the mid-tier restaurants and bar, beer is usually gonna cost you 60 to 90. Local spirit shots are gonna cost you around 80 to 120, and cocktails 150 to 250. If you like to drink wine, that's gonna cost you 150 to 300 baht per glass, and juice is usually like 40 baht to around 70 baht. Now for the more upscale places, like upscale bars and tourist hotspot, local beer is gonna cost you 50 to 150. 90 to 150. Local spirit is gonna cost you around 120 to 200. Cocktails is gonna cost you around 250 to 450. Wine is gonna cost you 200 to 450, and juice is gonna cost you 60 to 100 baht. So all those prices are in baht, not USD, bad. So for the people who would like, just straight up, you just want something cheap, like something that's cheaper, just go to the supermarket. Go to the supermarket and buy your alcohol, because in the supermarket things are way more cheap. Like, some things you're paying for like 200 at the bar, you're gonna probably pay like 100 at the store. So it's really up to you whether you want to enjoy a local beer for $1 USD, or you want to splurge and spend 7 to 12 USD at an upscale venue. So it's always up to you whether you want to go cheap or you just want to really ball out and enjoy yourself. Otherwise, from that, I need to let you guys know that you have to follow the rules, because there are rules here for drinking. At some time they will say, okay, you can't buy alcohol at this time, or you can't do this. So always be mindful and keep the drinking rules in the back of your head. I try to figure out the rules of drinking, before you purchase any alcohol, just to be safe. Now I'm gonna move on to activities. I'm gonna talk about some free activities, and I'm gonna talk about some activities that you're gonna have to pay. So the first activity I'm gonna talk about is night markets and street life. So you have night markets all over Thailand. That's free. You go there, you buy your food, you buy souvenirs, you buy clothes, you buy whatever it is, and that's completely free. You just walk the streets in the night, buy whatever you choose to buy, and you just enjoy the night. So that's basically just free for everybody, and especially if you in somewhere like Bangkok, like a big city like that. They have a night market they call Chatu Chak weekend market in Bangkok. And I think they have over 15,000 stalls. That's like over 15,000 stalls. So that they're gonna be like tons and tons of vendors there. Selling food, clothing, crafts. You're just gonna be wandering through like a bustling district. And then you can go to places like Khao San Road or Bangla Road. That is actually another very busy street you can go, Khao San Road or Bangla Road. And you don't have to spend a cent. You can just go there, enjoy yourself, maybe stop at a bar if you feel like it, and you just enjoy yourself. Another thing that you can do for free, another activity that you can do for free here in Thailand, some do charge. Like every now and then you're gonna find some of these places that do charge you, but for like the most part they are free. Like 90% of the time they are free, and that's like temples and shrines. Yeah, so you're definitely gonna get some spiritual and some cultural immersion from visiting these shrines. So definitely give that a try. Next activity is shopping malls. You should definitely go and visit some shopping malls when you are in Thailand. It doesn't matter where you are, always go and visit a shopping mall. That's like a decent shopping mall. If you're in Bangkok, that's even better, because the shopping malls in Bangkok are always huge and they're always beautiful, and it's such an experience to visit a shopping mall in Bangkok. So the shopping mall in Bangkok that I recommend is Icon Siam, Siam Paragon, MBK Center, and Central World. So I do encourage you guys go and visit those shopping malls, because I'm telling you, you're gonna have a good experience. Like I definitely did, and I know you guys will also have a good experience. And one thing to keep in mind, you might spend some money, in case you're gonna buy food or whatever the case, are you gonna buy a souvenir or something like that. You definitely might spend some money here. So this is low to moderate paid experiences when it comes to shopping mall and activities. So guys, we have reached the end of the video. If you guys find my information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you would like me to post more content like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I will. Also comment down below what you would like me to do next. See you in the next video.